The road to hell is paved with good intentions. Having good intentions usually means a person aims to do good, even if things don't turn out as planned because their motivation overrides the outcome. Versions of this proverb have been repeated across cultures and generations to describe results that may not have been expected or even honorable because not all good intentions benefit everyone. So what does it really mean? The most important question is, do good intentions actually make a difference? Are good intentions just concealed, oversimplified wordplay wrapped up as gifts? Let's find out. And welcome to 4C's One Family. Good intentions usually refer to the desire to act in a beneficial way, especially for others. This sounds honorable, but have you ever wondered if good intentions have ever caused harm or can be guaranteed to bring good results? When there's a lack of understanding, poor planning, or unforeseen events, good intentions can lead to unintended circumstances. A well-intended policy might unintentionally hurt the person or group it's meant to benefit. Also, trying to help someone without fully understanding their needs can cause more harm than good by complicating an already toxic situation. In essence, even with the best intentions, it's important to consider the potential impacts of an action and approach situations with awareness, empathy, and above all, honesty. Before applying good intentions, it's essential to fully understand the situation, the goal of those offering goodwill, and the needs of those to be aided. In the 1920s, a famous example of how good intentions can blindside people in their government occurred in the United States during the Prohibition era. It was thought by banning alcohol, crime, corruption, and related problems would be reduced or eliminated. But guess what? It actually made things worse. Illegal alcohol production and distribution skyrocketed, organized crime got stronger, and the government lost tons of tax revenue. The police and courts were overwhelmed because people just ignored the law. Luckily, after all that, heavy-handed prohibition laws and regulations were finally repealed, and more pragmatic ways to solve crime, corruption, and other social problems were aggressively looked into. In 1935, cane toads were introduced into Australia to control beetles harming sugarcane crops. The intention was good, but the outcome was devastating. The toads failed to reduce beetle numbers because Australia's targeted beetle species had different behaviors than those the toads commonly preyed upon. Another problem was that cane toads have potent chemical defenses called bufu toxins, which are lethal to many native Australian predators, which includes large-body reptiles like freshwater crocodiles, lizards, and snakes. Sadly, in some regions, populations of these predators that consumed cane toads declined by more than 80%. The result was that cane toads became an invasive species, causing ecological damage that threatened native wildlife. Decisions made for short-term gains, personal enrichment, or ideologies without considering the potential negative consequences to oneself and others may lead to regrettable and irreversible problems that may cause economic instability and erode public trust. It has become common to hear news about housing developers promising to build affordable housing in neighborhoods where poor families live in rat-infested buildings that should be demolished. On the surface, it's a great idea, but there's usually a shifty side to it. The developer might actually be trying to get approval for a bigger, more profitable project. Once that project gets the green light, the developer might not stick to making housing affordable. They might cut corners by using less durable materials to lower their construction costs, making living conditions worse. The good intentions of providing affordable housing get lost in the shadows of making a quick buck. And the community ends up with feeling betrayed, disappointed, and in a much worse situation. Governments and their political leaders often invoke fear under the pretext of national security to persuade citizens to accept their good intentions. When governments apply and expand public surveillance, they usually request that citizens give up some of their rights that protect their personal privacy. Mass government-sponsored surveillance may not only lead to human rights and privacy violations, but also significantly impact human behavior. As a result, individuals become fearful of their personal information being monitored and shared without their consent. It can also infringe on freedom of expression and association, as people may fear being watched or penalized for their beliefs or interactions, undermining trust in everyone around them. If surveillance leads to unfairly discriminating against specific groups, the erosion of fundamental civil liberties such as freedom of speech and due process will become exacerbated. Once lost, these rights often become difficult or impossible to regain. Detecting if nefarious motives are hidden in good intentions can be challenging, but here are some strategies to detect them. Consistency. Consistent behavior over time can indicate genuine intentions. Sudden changes might be a red flag to check for honesty and transparency. Genuine intentions are usually accompanied by openness and a willingness to explain any actions planned or taken. Observe reactions. How someone responds to criticism or opposing views can reveal their true intentions. Defensiveness or aggression may indicate hidden agendas. If actions consistently cause harm to others or benefit a person or group, it might indicate that nefarious motives are taking place. Seek opinions. Seeking opinions can help gain a broader understanding, provide different perspectives, and identify hidden motives and honest mistakes. Being observant, asking questions, and considering the bigger picture can help focus and uncover true intentions. These tips can help ensure that good intentions lead to the most positive outcomes. When offering help or assistance, stay open to feedback and be ready to adjust or adapt. Before accepting assistance presented as good intentions, consider what those who provide aid may gain through their actions. This is not to say that no person or group can be trusted. This is just a reminder to remain aware and never to drop your guard. What I presented is just the tip of the iceberg of what we must keep in mind when giving and accepting good intentions. If you have found what we have to offer of any value, please click on the subscribe and bell buttons below to keep up to date with our current episodes. And if you're listening to our podcast, please subscribe and leave a comment because we're very interested in hearing what you have to say. Thank you for joining us here at 4Cs, One Family, and remember to stay strong, safe, and healthy wherever you are in the world, because we have much more in common than we think.